Today I will be reviewing The Fly, which is a sci-fi thriller. It is a remake of the 1958 film of the same name. It is about an eccentric scientist who has created the world's first teleportation system, but undergoes a terrible transformation in which, in the first trial of transporting himself, he is molecularly fused with a fly, which sets up the rest of the film. It was released in 1986 and it was directed by David Cronenberg. It stars Gina Davis as Veronica, Jeff Goldblum as Seth Brundle, the scientist, and John Getz as Stathis Borans, Veronica's ex. So, overall, it's a very good film. It's got a very, very slow build-up, which was somewhat uncommon. It does work, though, because throughout the entire film you're wondering what's going to happen, because you know he's going to turn into something terrible. You just don't know when or how. So it uses that very well. And it's also very good at using foreshadowing. It has a shot of the fly on its perilous journey in the telepod. Overall, the special effects, again, for the time, so late 80s, very good. Still held up very well. Primarily because it doesn't use that many special effects until the very end. So the special effects that it uses very, very well. And they produce a very horrific response in the audience. And the gradual build-up, the levels of complexity in the makeup and the design work really, really well with the character, because it shows the transformation of Brundle, or Goldblum, as a very, very attractive man to a very deplorable creature. It's hideous and terrifying, and honestly, I almost threw up halfway through it. But it was interesting. Another thing that was interesting about the film was the very limited characters. You really only see Veronica, Brundle, and Borans talk throughout the whole thing, which could limit it somewhat, but the writing really doesn't, because it really does make you focus on the science itself and the experiment and how wrong it has gone. It also provides somewhat of a sense of drama between Veronica and her ex Borans and Brundle, who she is currently seeing. One of the critiques that I will give is Borans' character. I think John Getz did this very well. I don't think it's a problem with him. I think it's a problem with the writing. But Stathis Borans himself comes off as very, very aggressive and possessive, and just not a nice person, and you don't like him. But you are supposed to like him by the end, and there's not a lot of character development that you see, so that's kind of unsatisfactory. But other than that, the relationship dynamics are used very, very well, because you can obviously tell how much Veronica cares for Seth, despite what he is going through. You can see this in her repeated attempts to reconnect with him and help him, but they don't go to plan. The last thing I will say is, honestly, I would give it 4 out of 5 stars. It has only lost 1 because of Boren's character and how not great he is, and the unresolved issues between him and Veronica that really should still be there, and that the audience never gets to see worked out. So I'm going to count that as a plot hole. But other than that, it's a really solid film that seems to have held up very, very well. Alright, that's it.